Hey guys, while editing the video for the Baja on Swaybar on a 2020 RT Can Spyder, it was 22 minutes long. So I decided to break it down into a two-part video. What you're watching right now is part number 2. Hey guys, my name is Pierre from Can Spyder Accessories.com and welcome to the Spyder Shop, your Spyder Shop. In today's video, we're going to be doing the installation of a Baja on Swaybar on a 2020 and up Can Spyder. Now it's time to put the new one in. So just go the opposite of what you did. Get one corner in. So lift it up straight like this. Push it towards the middle. And then start lifting. And just make it center. Now it's time to put one of those bushing in. So remember those two little angles that we did on the bushing? Well, that's going to go towards the inside of the bike as we're pushing it forward. And the hole on the bushing here has got to be on the bottom. So the hole on the bottom, those two angles towards the inside of the bike. So you're going to slide it over your sway bar, push it towards the top, and then take that turn 90 degrees. And this is where you're going to have to squeeze really hard on the bushing to be able to push it inside the metal here. Make sure that the hole in the metal here, where the pin is going to go through, is lined up with the hole with the bushing. Go ahead and put one bolt right now through it. You don't need to put your luck nut straight away, but you don't want this part to move when you're working on the other side. A trick for you guys, before you go ahead and make this tight here with the lock nut and where the bushing is and that bolt, go ahead and put in the other bolt that was here with that collar. Because if you make this tight, you're going to have less space here and you're going to have a hard time getting that bolt and that collar in there. So go ahead and put in the two bolts here right now. Don't forget to put back the washers that were right here on both sides. For now, we're going to leave these 4 bolts as is. Don't make them tight yet. We're going to work on the sway bar and the links right now. For this part, we're going to be installing the links that we have, right, with the little washer spacers. So this is where we're going to need that big blanket. So go ahead and lay it down right underneath where you're going to do your installation. The reason we want to do this, because you're going to be using your long nose pliers for this part right here, and you're bound to drop one at one time. You've got 8 of them, you need 8 of them. You can't afford to lose one. So if it falls down, it's probably going to run somewhere and you won't be able to find it. So putting the blanket down will at least absorb the shock, and you probably got a better chance of finding it. We're going to start off by taking the link and we're going to attach it to the Can Spyder first, not to the sway bar. So we're going to attach it on top. To go on top, you're going to be reusing one of those black bolts that you had with a nylon luck nut. All right, so this is going to be a little tricky for me. So keep in mind, this goes right here. I got to have the camera, I got to have the light, I got to wrap my hands around the camera to be able to work here. So, you know, for you guys, it's going to be a little bit easier than this. So I'm going to work with my zoom and try to give you a good view of how this is going to go in. We're working on the right-hand side right now. So we're going to take the bolt. It's going to go from the outside towards the inside. So the trick is to insert it a little bit like here, and you're going to take one of the angle washers here, and keep in mind, see there's a, hang on, all right, so there are 2, it's made differently, right? So you've got the thick part here and the thinner part on this side, and the thinner part goes against the link. So the first step is to push that in there. You hold it with your finger, You take your bolt and you insert it through the metal and then through that washer. You can actually, after that, take your hands off and it just holds there, just like that. Now you're going to take your link. I usually like to have the the Baja around there towards the outside so we can see it a little bit. And the trick is to bring it up and then push your bolt through it. All right, now is going to be the fun part where you're using another one of the washers and your long nose pliers. Now, see right here, you got to leave yourself, so the bolt's got to come through that washer, through the link, but not all the way through to the other side, because you need to insert one of these right here with a long nose. So you got to leave yourself a little bit of space. So you're going to take your long nose pliers. Don't forget, once again, you want the thin part to be towards the link and the thick part towards the outside. And see how I'm holding it here? That gives you an idea of where it needs to be in your long nose pliers to be able to get it up there. So you're going to need to use your left hand for this and your right hand on the bolt. And then this is where it might fall, might not fall. You may get it the first time around or not. Once you got that done, take that lock nut, go ahead and put it on the other side. Steady. Let's go ahead and work on the left-hand side. Once again, we're going to go from the outside towards the inside. Don't forget, you want the thin part towards the link. You've got two new bolts. This is where we're going to be using the other one. And for this one, I like to go from the inside towards the outside. So you're going to insert your bolt. You're going to take one of those washers. Don't forget again, you want the small part to be against that link. Now you can hold that, push it upwards. Now you're going to go through the link. You're going to take another washer. You're going to insert it, again, the small part against the link. And you're going to take that lock nut and screw it on. We're going to do the same thing on the right-hand side. So go ahead and put that bolt through your Swaybar. Take one of those washers, don't forget, thin part against that link. Leave yourself a little bit of space there. Bring that link over. Go through the link. Use the other washer. Thin part against that link. Push it through. Use that lock nut and screw that on. Now it's time to go back and make sure that everything is screwed tight. So you've got 8 places that you need to go. So count them as you're doing them, count them. Don't forget one, you need to tighten up those 8 places. So you've got 2 on each links, on each side, so that's 4. And then along that sway bar, you had 2 on one side and 2 on one side. So you got 4 right there. 4 plus 4 is 8. You got 4 with the 10 millimeter keys, and you got 4 with the 13 millimeter keys. Go ahead and get that done. One quick note, don't forget that you want the links on each side to be going straight down, just like this. You don't want it on an angle like that or like that. So if they're both straight on each side, your sway bar is actually going to be really centered. You want to make these snug, so don't overkill, make it too tight, but you know, just make it snug. We're going to come and tighten up the bolt that goes through the bushing right here. And how do you know it's tight enough? Well, run your thumb along the side here. See that line there, the plastic line? So as you tighten this and you make it snug, this is going to pop out just a little bit. So once you feel it popping out a little bit, that's enough. I like to use my drill here with that key, and then once it's all the way in, I'm going to finish it off by hand. For the Swaybar part, you are done. It's installed. Now it's time to put the 3 panels back underneath your Can Spyder. If you want a little trick to be able to put the push pin back, before you try inserting it, press down on it really hard to make it as skinny as possible. That's going to help you a lot. After your 3 push pin, don't forget to put that torque 30 back right here. That was an easy installation, the kind of do-it-yourself project that you can get done in about an hour or 2, depending on your skill level. But everybody should be able to get this done. Now go out, enjoy your Can Spyder. It's going to push the limits like you've never been able to do it before. So I would recommend you go 1 up for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Go hit some twisties, see what your bike can do before you bring a passenger aboard with you. Once again, guys, my name is Pierre. This is the Spyder Shop, CanSpyderAccessories.com. Until next time, I'm out.